Hi Sebastian, how are you?
Hey Harry, how are you doing?
Hmm, doing well, thank you. Even better now that we're here. So yeah,
Yeah,
feeling good. How's your morning going so far?
pretty good. Starting with some scrambled eggs. That's where I get my
Nice.
energy from. And weather's really nice in Bucharest, 30 degrees. Yeah, great start for Friday, and looking forward for the weekend. How are you in the
Nice.
UK?
Yeah, doing well. It's quite early here, so just looking outside and there's really nice sunshine. We've had rain for the last 2 weeks, so
Yeah,
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 I'm very happy that there's finally some sunshine.
I
Um,
can believe it.
but yeah, hey, this is, for anybody who's watching or is tuning in, this is our weekly kind of call that we do. It's only 30 minutes long. We're just going to talk about Webflow, marketing, business, anything in general, really. The idea of the show is that each week, Sebastian and I bring a question to the floor, and then we kind of discuss and talk about it. And then, yeah, share that with you guys. So, Sebastian, do you want to start this week?
Sure, sure. Yeah, my question would be, in the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life?
Crikey, okay,
Just,
nice.
just an easy question.
Mm.
Maybe I can start first with something that I recently changed,
Sure.
and you can think a bit about the question, or if you have something that comes to your mind directly.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Go ahead.
Okay. What I recently changed is I'm not following any news in general. It's now 3 weeks that I'm not following the news at all. I'm still alive, and yeah, I got this from the book The Art of Thinking Clearly, and
Mm,
the epilogue where he was asking, has anything impacted or helped you after you read some news, when you think to the past, to the 1000 news you already consumed? Was there anything that impacted your life in a positive way, or your business in a positive way? And I couldn't find so many examples, maybe one or two, and I was like, yeah, let's try to skip it to see how it goes.
mm,
And yeah, there's less distraction. I'm more focused, so it's not that I'm consuming not anything. I'm still reading about news, what is changing, for example, at Facebook, YouTube, and so on.
mm.
And I'm also following longer blog articles about some things about agency developments and so on. So in order to learn something, but not like directly the news.
Sure, sure, sure. Really nice. Really nice. So, would you say that by dropping the news, you've been able to think more clearly? Because that was the book, right? How to think more clearly.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I read the entire book with all these things, how your mind is like changed in a way, or doesn't know exactly how to do specific things. And the best part was in the epilogue, what I took out from it, which was a bit odd, because I was like, I could have started here. No, no, the rest of the book is also really nice and valuable to read. And yeah, I would say I'm more like, I have more clarity in general during the day. There's less, not stress, I would say, but less distraction.
Do you
And I'm
feel
not,
like?
yeah,
Sorry, I was just going to ask. Do you feel like you miss it at all?
that's the funny thing. I don't miss it at all. And the other thing
Okay.
is, recently happened something in Germany, like with the flooding. I
Mm,
didn't hear about it, but yesterday when I spoke with someone from Germany, they told me already the news. So news travels, and I don't have to consume it. When there is something big happening, then I will know it at one point.
I bet that's a nice conversation to have as well, where like you don't know about something that's happened in the news.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, this happened," and then you can chat about it.
Yeah, but what's the point? And there's not so much value in this when you have different points of view. But is there something, as I said, is there something valuable coming out for your life? For example, with politics, you can of course get mad when they elect Trump again, but you can't really change something. You can only follow what they are doing, and that's it.
I like that.
But when you read, for example, a blog article about how you improve your agency and you can literally learn something from it and do it in your agency, this is something valuable where you're able to change something. So that's why I think it's really valuable to keep on reading, but like stuff that is valuable for you.
Sure. It makes sense. It really does. And
yeah.
I kind of think that something that I've done recently as well, it's not like I can't even remember 5 years ago, Seb. It's really hard.
I thought so, but I was like, okay, maybe it took some time, or you have something really that impacted you most, but maybe in the last 6 months to 1 year, maybe something that you changed and it's impacted.
Recently I would say that the main thing has been that I did something similar to you where I stopped watching. Actually, the biggest thing really is I deleted all social media. So I've deleted Facebook and I've deleted Instagram off of my phone. I can still access it via my work computer if I need to go onto my business accounts, but I've kind of removed myself from that like constant cycle of I'm bored, open Facebook, check my notifications, see some bullshit notification that somebody shared a picture to a group or something like that, And I think that's really helped me think clearly more because my brain isn't like so frazzled. And I personally have always had a really bad experience of self-comparison. So I will look at somebody who has like a yacht or somebody who's doing very well, and maybe it's because of my age, and I look at them doing really well, maybe even a friend, and instead of thinking, oh, I'm really glad that friend was doing well, I would reframe it and be like, wow, my friend is doing really well. Why am I not doing really well as well?
This is the big thing on social media, that they like you do it unintentionally, unconscious, with your mind is just comparing it, and it's a total different situation. It's a total different situation. But I like what you shared with unclutter. For me, it was uncluttering. There's still some
Definitely.
value in these sources in Instagram and Facebook. I follow specific groups that I find valuable when they share something, especially about online marketing, some news that I didn't discover, I wouldn't discover directly in general. What I did, I unfollowed. So I went through my time and said, is this valuable? Unfollow. So now I have not many things that I'm following anymore, only the things that are valuable for me, like some really nice articles, for example, from Tim Ferriss, or something about health and nutrition, and about online marketing. But I'm still thinking if I should fully delete it, because as you said, with even when friends post something and you compare yourself, it's not helpful.
Yeah, I agree. I think an idea that I've had recently is that to use it more as a tool. So having some time set out in my calendar to say, okay, today I'm gonna be going on Facebook for 45 minutes. But actually scheduling time for it and saying, okay, now I'm gonna go and check these groups because I want to get some value out of them, and then I'm gonna close the app. Before I quit the platforms, I thought I'd test myself, so I set a timer on my phone, which after 30 minutes of use of Instagram or Facebook, it comes up with a time limit. It's a thing on iPhone.
Yeah, I have it. I think I have 20 minutes on my phone.
Yeah.
So far I didn't reach it. I didn't get any message that I reached it. So I
was
think it's
getting
okay.
I was getting surprised how quickly I was hitting 30 minutes, and I'd be looking at my phone, and the time limit would come on, and I'd be like, "What? Why is that clicked over so quickly? What the hell?"
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, biggest thing that's changed for me, that would be deleting social media, 100%, 100%. Moving on, then, I actually have my question for this week.
I'm curious. Bring it on.
It's based on a conversation we've had recently.
Okay.
And I thought it would be a bit more business/marketing focused. So my question is, if a private hospital came to you today and they said, we need to get more patients in, what would you do? And how would you structure a strategy to help them get more patients through the door?
Nice.
So, I can go first if you want, because I had a
yeah.
So one of my ideas is to get some really famous influencers from the area who have a good following, but they're local influencers. So they're not some big influencer in a city that's really far away, but they're an influencer that's close to this private hospital. And they go in for a free checkup day, which is sponsored by the hospital. And the hospital takes them through the process of getting a checkup, from them arriving to the experience of it. And all you need the influencer to do is just document that journey as they go from in the reception to in the doctor's office to maybe they get like a free coffee or lunch or something at the end. And that's all kind of shown through Instagram stories. And then that content is also reusable. So then once they've done that and posted it to their live account to however many followers they've had, the hospital could strike a deal with an influencer to reuse that content. So then maybe they could run an edited version of their Instagram stories as a video ad to get more people to either like the page or come and visit in. It's a bit of a soft strategy, but it's one that I think would benefit the hospital definitely, especially if they're private and they want to get some more exclusive kind of clients.
Yeah, my question would be with the influencer. Would the influencer, because these private clinics, they have normally some specialty, you know? So if it would be a drug and alcoholic clinic and he does a free checkup, I think it's not so good for his reputation, if you know what I mean.
What would be my question then to you is, what would be a good speciality for like private hospital speciality that an influencer would work at?
I think it's more than like, because I can speak mainly for Germany because you have also these general hospitals. But I think in general, I think with the influencer, it's tough because you have these mini influencers, and you know, once you get them and they post something about a hospital, you don't know what else do they post on their timeline. Maybe something really that is not aligned with the values of the company. So this is something which you also have to keep in mind with these influencers and these micro and mini influencers. Most of them are not like professionals or know how to be professional. So there's also the risk that something goes not as it should be, or they post something that you don't want to hear. I think it's tough. I think it's really tough to work in general with influencers. And I think for hospitals in general, it's really hard to figure out a proper strategy. I think I would more think it through if it's where to use it, but I was more thinking more in general hospitals or something. But the idea would be going to a hospital and speak to them and analyze the market. What competitors do they have? What is their specialty? Where do they have the biggest profit margin? And then come up with a whole entire concept, like starting with their website to build like their website really nicely, and also with the categories for search engine optimization in combination with good content, and of course responsiveness. And what you have also to think, for example, if it's an eye clinic or something, you need to have the possibility to change the colors, not only colors, but also black and white, like some contrast, and also make the letters bigger. So the word here, or the keyword, is accessibility.
Sure.
To have the website like this feature. There are certain things that you have to take in consideration. And the first thing that when I Google for a hospital, I'm checking the Google reviews. So I would also focus on this Google reviews, that they have lots of Google reviews and good Google reviews, because in general this attracts more visitors. And besides this, also you need to have some paper in the hospital that looks really fancy. Like the whole corporate design should be out from one big thing: the website, then the things when you go in the hospital, if they have some marketing materials there, and it should be kind of like an experience.
Sure,
I would say, but a positive experience, and also to put some doctors in the highlight, to write about their CV that builds trust. What have they done? Maybe have they written some books? And it's always good to share some news. What is done in this clinic? What have they new implemented to keep it ongoing? And I think that would be the idea how I would advertise a private hospital.
So to summarize them, really, it's not actually one thing. It's not just to do a website or do marketing or do the material. It's the entire canopy.
It's the entire concept. Yeah, it's the entire concept. I would go mainly for search engine optimization, because this is like organic and long term. But it depends on the hospital by itself, also on the financial resources. To come up with the best strategy. I can't tell you exactly, you have to do this and this will work for sure. It's also about the country. We have different health systems. Like there's a big difference, for example, between Germany and Romania, where I'm. In Germany, mainly it gets paid by the health insurance by the state. And in Romania, you have to pay it mainly by yourself. So it's also of your target group that you want to attract. In Germany, you would probably attract all of the Germans, because they need to have a health insurance by law. In Romania, you would, based on what you are targeting, but more the people that have money that can afford it.
Sure. Yeah. Nice. I guess my final sort of question to kind of move us on from that one is, do you think healthcare should be universal? i.e., everybody should have access to some form of basic healthcare?
Tough question. Question. What's your opinion on that?
Well, in the UK, we have this already. Everybody has access to some form of GP checkup and surgery, and it's mostly paid for by the government. The only thing you have to make a contribution towards usually is medicine. But then, as well as that, part of that is paid by the NHS. We're so used to it now that I think the idea of losing it is really like crazy. When I hear American friends and they're saying to me, "Yeah, I have to budget for my hospital expenses for a year," I'm like, "What the fuck? That's crazy," But it's a very common thing around the rest of the world. it kind of sucks now that we've left Europe as well, because I think before, when we were in Europe, like the NHS would be able to cover our healthcare, but now I think we have to pay. If I got hurt in Germany and I had to go to the hospital, I think I have to pay for the hospital trip as well.
Not sure. Depends. For example, if it's an emergency, of course they will do something.
So to kind of summarize my answer, yes, I think everybody should have something similar to the UK, where you make a small contribution, but a large part of it is accessible.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like a general health insurance would be great, but then the question of the financing comes up. And another thing is, do we want to finance a sick or broken system? It starts, for example, this is like not the root cause. The root cause is the nutrition, what we eat and so on. So lots of diseases arise because we eat unhealthy food, or like something from the food industry that isn't healthy at all. And so the food industry profit from us, and then in the next step, the health industry profits from this. So there should be like a general change in thinking from my point of view. What are we going to eat? Because people, they still want to eat like unhealthy, not all of them, but some. And it's easier for them to take a pill and to hope it gets better, but it has side effects.
Sure.
And for this, to ask the state to pay for this behavior, it's more, I would ask the state to change the system, like in order to be more restrictive, especially with nutrition. There are now some first steps that they sign it if something is healthy, unhealthy, but it's too little. And still, the food industry is cheating on you. They say, hey, this is a protein yogurt. When you look on this protein yogurt, yes, it has more protein than normal, but it has still sugar a lot.
Sure.
So it's a really tough decision. But to summarize what we just discussed, general health insurance, I think, is needed for everybody in the world. But the big questioning is how to have a system that is like sustainable and that works out, because I can see it in Germany. It's crazy with the health insurance, how much it costs. For example, when I was in the health insurance in Germany, I had to pay 700 euros per month.
Wow.
Yeah. I have to say I was like self-employed, so I had to pay the part for the employer and as the part for the employee. Normally they share this, but when you are self-employed, you have to pay it by yourself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But this is like a full insurance then. So this is like the deluxe version, so to say. But yeah, it's crazy, and it's getting more and more expensive, especially now with Corona. They're getting more costs into that. So yeah, I don't know if it's sustainable like this right now, the entire system.
Sure. So I think that's been like a really good point to end on, really. And it's been a really fun conversation this time around. So if you want to follow this way, Sebastian, you can follow him on RE7 Consulting Instagram, Sebastian Bayer on LinkedIn. You can follow me on YouTube, Harry Roper, and also LinkedIn, Harry Roper again. You should be able to find us both. But apart from that, yeah, really good chat, and hope to see you all in the next one. See you all soon. Bye.
Yeah, enjoy your day. Bye-bye.